Are these adjustable?
Well, I've never figured out how to drive it.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Got this one.
Oh, here, little clips. Oh no, that's for the side handles. I don't know.
There's something over it.
Oh, that's
not sure.
probably up and down. Oh, that's all right. I'll just sit upright. Right.
Oh, you talking about how it just leans all the way back?
Well, this one, like if I'm against the backrest, you know, I'm like, "Ugh."
Like this?
Yeah. Oh, that's even.
How'd you do that?
Yeah.
My chair is always like this.
Really?
You never notice? Sometimes I just fall asleep in the middle of school. I didn't notice.
Wow. No.
Yeah, it's always like that.
Huh.
I'm going to change it. It's somebody else's.
So
Yeah.
whenever it gets vacuumed, they all get put back exactly in the same position.
Yeah,
I
apparently.
swear, every single time it's...
And, you know, so they do all sorts of physical therapy. They do company that do stuff.
Hi, how are you?
Working out, so,
Good.
he's getting
Well,
after
thank
it.
you.
So now it's just a matter of doing all sorts of hand work.
Okay, let's see, did I fix it?
No.
It wasn't that bad. He said it was part of the contractor was out there. He said his service line got disconnected from the main. That's why they shut everything off. So he's like, there's water free.
Oh, all right.
Happy Thanksgiving week.
Okay. Thank you.
The doc says it's it's weakness and strength.
Did you go to the Notre Dame game?
I think I snapped.
You did not? I wondered.
Better?
And
How?
so
Right
he's,
underneath there? You can't do it from there. You got to get
I saw a little bit of it on TV.
I'm not going to do anything.
Snow coming down.
It's all right. It doesn't matter.
I don't want you to fall back.
I know.
Maybe
it's
I'm
just
going the
like all
wrong.
of a
Maybe I'm
sudden-
going the wrong way.
Yeah,
Way
no.
back.
Oh no, that's much better.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, exactly right.
This is the other
Well, the
one I
roads
was
were
gonna
fine,
do
but it was just
tonight,
that
but
blowing.
if you would like to, you're welcome.
his stock is like,
Kind of decreased very
Oh
last
yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, thank you.
Came home from Spain.
So I picked both Roy and Andy.
Thank you, sir.
So they're all
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I just need to do it myself, so
All right.
a little bit selfish on my part, but
and it's hard because he's getting
I'm not very altruistic. But
playing us in
Oh gosh, it's almost 7 already. Jeez.
actually state playoffs for this with 5A, right?
5A
Championship, yeah.
Oh, really?
Peoria.
resolve myself now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, does
impressive.
anybody know how the U.S. did in the World Cup?
Tie.
1-1.
1-1.
Wales got a penalty.
Oh, is that what happened?
It was the right call, but just.
Sorry, I was working. Just let you know. Sorry, I was working.
Yeah, same.
It's a little thing
Same.
called dual tasking.
Multitasking. Yeah.
All right. Hey Jim, how are you? Very well. Good. Yeah. I don't think I said hi. Hello. Hello.
To go out today.
Yeah. COVID.
Oh.
I know. I said to Ellen, I guess that's still a thing.
I guess it
My
is.
brother-in-law has that
Yeah.
right now.
Really?
Really?
I'm starting to hear. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Starting to.
Or he just didn't want to do family day with us. One of the two.
It is a very convenient excuse.
Not saying I disagree.
All right, 7 o'clock. Everybody ready? Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this meeting of your Western Springs Village Board. You can't hear me? It's on. Okay, thank you. All right. To honor our nation's heroes, and especially to honor the men and women in uniform who serve and protect our community, please rise and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Clerk Timick, please call the roll.
Yes, President Gallagher. Trustee Chen. Trustee Fink.
Here.
John.
Here.
Trustee Lewis.
Here.
Trustee Rudolph.
Here.
Trustee Carroll.
Here.
Thank you. Having read the agenda, does any trustee have an addition or deletion to tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to citizen comments. This is the portion of the meeting where we open the meeting up to the public to address the board. Is there anyone here this evening who would like to address the board? Please come up. Yeah. Approach. Good. Good evening. Yes. That's so the folks at home can hear you.
Hello,
That
hello.
works?
Perfect. There you go.
My name is Jack Hagan, and I live at 5021 Commonwealth Avenue in Commonwealth, down the road. I had a question on the new stormwater management program. What I was interested in was the financing, and I'm not sure how the transition is going to be made, but you did say that currently the funded through the village's general and sewer fund. That's how your stormwater utility right now is funded by your general fund. It's going to be transferred to separate outside fund, independent fund, to be billed on your water bill. That's my understanding from your presentation in the pamphlet. What I wanted to be sure of is that the old line item in the budget, your regular budget, the line item for the sewer expenditure is deleted, because the expense for that should be transferred to the outside source. So I don't know where you are with your budget for this coming year. When is that? When do you-
That's coming at the end of December, at our last meeting, that will be approved or voted on, so.
So it wouldn't be a trouble then to be sure to delete the line item of the sewer.
Yeah, if I could punt this over to our manager.
Sure.
You're the one, huh?
I'm the one. Thank you for your comment. We, at this time, the way the budget is being presented does not, it does not depict the sewer fund because it hasn't been put into place yet. John, do you want to address how you plan to make a change once that fee goes into effect?
So, Mr. Hagan, this is John Mastandona, our Director of Finance.
I just want to be sure that the old line item doesn't stay in the budget. 'Cause
What-
Right.
I
Well,
want to be sure
John
the
will
old line
address
item
that.
doesn't get expensed in some manner in the old budget. because
Right.
All
Right.
that should transfer to the new system.
So once the new fund is put into place, then there will be no sewer expenses coming out of the old fund. John, do you want to describe how that works?
Yes, yeah. So right now, the sewer expenditures come out of the water and sewer fund.
Yes.
And right now, they take away from water projects. So currently, the water and sewer fund is hosting sanitary, stormwater, and water.
Right.
And with this stormwater, it's going to go to its own fund, leaving the sanitary sewer expenditures will be in its
So
own
there still
fund.
is going to be expenses for the general fund?
Not for the stormwater. Stormwater
Yeah.
will go to the stormwater
Stormwater
fund.
will be transferred, but it said in here bonded and anything else was going to be included in the new.
That's correct, yeah. Yeah, anything stormwater related will be expensed in only the stormwater
other-
fund.
Other water expenses are going to stay in the general fund?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In the water and sewer fund.
Water and sewer fund?
Yes, yeah,
in the
it's its
general
own
budget,
fund. Correct.
The budget.
That's correct.
So all the expenses aren't going to transfer to the stormwater?
Just the
Okay, that's what I was
stormwater.
wanting to know. So
Yep.
you are going to keep the line item then in the general budget for other than stormwater?
Yes,
expenditures?
yeah, for regular,
Okay.
water will be
Okay.
in there.
Okay. That's it.
That's a good point. Thank you very much.
Was this for me or for you to float the?
I think for you.
I really Oh,
Happy Thanksgiving.
Have a good holiday, folks.
You
Thank
too.
you, you too.
Good evening, please. Right.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for the time today. My name is Jim Conniff. I'm a resident of Western Springs and have been for the last 22 years. Spelling of my last name is Conniff, Conniff. I live on Grand Avenue with my wife and 4 daughters. I wanted to address tonight and discuss my petition before the village for the purchase of my half of the right-of-way that's adjacent to the north end of my property. My letter of intent that I submitted is for the purchase of this remaining 27 feet across by 187. I want to provide the trustees with the full background here as to my intent for the use of the land and give you a little bit more background than maybe in my letter. On June 3rd, my neighbor to the north, Mr. Swappa, put his house on the market to be sold and expressly marketed the option to purchase this right away in the marketing materials and the MLS listing. Upon seeing this on June 4th, I called the Director of Municipal Services at the village on June 10th, actually, to express my interest in acquiring this property because I had a feeling that it was probably going to go to a developer, and we had done substantial work around that property at that time. I asked how the right-of-way works and what the instructions and what the procedures were, and I was provided a copy of the manual essentially for the resolution. And I was asked by the director if I could just call him because he said it's very complicated and it's not really spelled out in the procedures. So I called him and he said, listen, you know, the way that this usually works is if Mr. Swap has bought his half, you would have the right of first refusal on your half of the property. Mr. Swappa bought these 33 feet more than 10 years ago. So my thought was, if an offer comes in and a developer wants to buy Mr. Swappa's property and acquire this right away, I would then exercise this right to basically protect, if you will, that adjacent property to the north of mine. He has his half, I would basically buy my half. A couple weeks went by, a couple months went by. I stayed in contact with the village just to see if there were any competing offers that came in for this property. And none had for a number of weeks, basically. I stayed in touch with the director throughout the summer to let him know that we wanted to exercise this option for that 27 feet by 187 if a competing offer came in. Given that we have 3 daughters currently in college, I wasn't willing to front the money until I knew I had to, so I did not put the offer in until the competing offer came in. Later in the summer, I was contacted by a developer, Mr. Griffin, who wanted to build on the land. He's not the owner of the property. But he also realized that it was the customary procedures of the village that I had that right of first refusal, and he came to talk to me. So I talked to Mr. Swappa, I talked to Mr. Griffin, I talked to the broker involved, as well as Mr. Superd. Everybody had the understanding of the way that the precedent basically worked with this right away. Mr. Griffin then sent an email, I believe, to the village under his name, even though he's not the property owner, along with a check to purchase the right away. Mr. Swappa is the owner of that property to the north of me, not Mr. Griffin. Mr. Swappa then amended the petition under his name, at which time later that week I formally did submit my petition for the 27 feet. Why do I want to buy the land? We've cut the grass, we've raked the leaves, we've treated the trees on the property for a number of years. We've always considered this property that we had to take care of, and we've done so. When I moved in 13 years ago, the village actually mandated that we put in a storm sewer in my backyard, which then would connect to the lateral pipe. So it goes over my property line through the right-of-way to the lateral pipe to help with the flooding. We want to keep the flooding away from Grand Avenue. Every single year there's a lot of flooding that goes on. We then installed landscaping, shrubbery, and 20 different trees to protect the property from the flooding in our backyards. And that was on my nickel. Just to close here, you know, why I would like the village to at least consider the proposal by me. You know, number one, I was repeatedly told that the procedure was he gets his half, I can buy my half. I would have this right of first refusal. I have some emails here also that I could leave with the village to show you some of the communication back and forth. I offered to buy the whole 27 feet. I think Mr. Swappa's offering to buy 12 feet across. And lastly, I tend to leave the property as is. We've lived here for 22 years. We're going to live here for the next 22 years. We're not moving. We're not flipping it to a developer. We want to maintain the property as is. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Conniff. I understand that we sent this back to the Properties and Recreation Committee where if you are available, we would appreciate you attending and letting them know just what you told the board here. And then it will come back up to the board. Do we have a date for that?
We do.
meeting?
I believe it's not, it's Tuesday,
First
I
Tuesday of the
think.
month.
Yeah, first Tuesday of the month. I
Okay,
just have to-
we'll do that. Thank you for
Okay.
your time.
Yeah, thank you.
It is the 6th, and it is at 5 PM.
Okay. 6 at 5 p.m. Thank you for taking the time to come and address us. There being no one else here to address the board, we will now close the citizen comment portion of the meeting and move on to new business. We have one item for consideration under new business. This item comes out of the Public Works and Water Committee, so Trustee Fink, will you please introduce this motion?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to award a contract to the lowest cost qualified and responsible bidder, Kane County Excavating, in the amount of $597,712.92.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion on this? Any questions or comments? Nope. May we have the roll call vote, please, Clerk Timick?
Yes, President Gallagher. Trustee Chen is absent. Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Rudolph.
Aye.
Trustee Carroll.
Aye.
Trustee John.
Aye.
Trustee Fink.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We have another item under new business tonight. That's Resolution 22-2703. Trustee Fink, will you introduce this as well?
I make a motion to approve and authorize the execution of a professional services agreement between the Village of Western Springs and Christopher B. Burke Engineering LTD for Phase 3 construction engineering services for the Spring Rock Park water main project, not to exceed a fee of $56,000.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second that motion.
We have considered this. We've discussed this in previous meetings. Are there any questions or comments or discussion this evening? Okay, hearing none, may we have the roll call vote, please, Clerk Timick?
Yes, President Gallagher. Trustee Chen is absent. Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Rudolph.
Aye.
Trustee Carroll.
Aye.
Trustee John.
Aye.
Trustee Fink.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. There being no other new business before the board this evening, we'll move on to consideration of an action on the agenda items under the omnibus vote. The Illinois state statutes allow a municipality to collectively vote on a group of ordinances, resolutions, and other motions such as awards of contract, appointments, etc. This is known as an omnibus vote. All the items contained on the omnibus vote list have been previously discussed by the President and Board of Trustees on at least one occasion, and often on several occasions. By placing them on the omnibus vote list, a single vote may be taken to approve them. A trustee may remove any item from the list and have it discussed and voted on separately prior to the omnibus vote. Is there such a request this evening? Hearing none, Trustee Terrell, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd move that the following ordinances, resolutions, and motions as contained on the meeting agenda for November 21st, 2022 be adopted and/or approved under an omnibus vote. Agenda item number 1, approval of the meeting minutes of October 24th, 2022 and November 7th, 2022 as read. Agenda item number 2, ordinance number 22-3108, approving budget amendment/transfer over $10,000 to the fiscal year 2022 operating budget in the general fund and the water and sewer fund. Agenda item number 3, resolution number 22-2704, approving updated fee schedules for the Recreation Department activities and programs, updated fee schedules effective on January 1st, 2023, end paren. Agenda item number 4, resolution number 22-2705, approving and authorizing Illinois Department of Transportation, that's IDOT, Form BLR 09110 for highway improvements under the Illinois Highway Code for roadway/street improvements utilizing motor fuel tax, that's MFT, funds for Phase 2 design engineering, Phase 3 inspection engineering, and construction costs for the 2023 MFT asphalt resurfacing project in the amount of $850,000. Agenda item number 5, resolution number 22-2706, approving and authorizing Illinois Department of Transportation, IDOT, Form BLR 09110 for highway improvements under the Illinois Highway Code for roadway/street improvements utilizing Rebuild Illinois funds for Phase 2 design engineering, Phase 3 inspection engineering, and construction costs for the 2023 MFT asphalt resurfacing project in the amount of $116,000. Agenda item number 6, resolution number 22-2707, determining the estimated real property tax levy for the year 2022 for the Village of Western Springs. Agenda item number 7, resolution number 22-2708, approving and authorizing the execution of a first addendum to the employment agreement to be entered into with Village Manager Ellen J. Bear. Agenda item number 8, motion to approve the Village of Western Springs, Illinois Association of Park Districts delegates for the Illinois Association of Park Districts Annual Business Meeting on January 28th, 2023. And agenda item number 9, motion to direct staff to pursue a design-build process for the 2023 Historic Tower Stairs project, subject to bid waiver of the selected firm.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, may we have the roll call vote, please?
Yes, President Gallagher. Trustee Chen is absent. Trustee Fink.
Aye.
John.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Trustee Rudolph.
Aye.
Trustee Carroll.
Aye.
President Gallagher.
Aye.
The ordinances, resolutions, and motions contained in the agenda of November 11th, 2022 are hereby adopted.
Thank you. Is there any other business a trustee wishes to discuss this evening? Hearing none, we'll move on to our reports. The first report this evening is the monthly financial report. Trustee Rudolph, you have the floor.
Thank you, President Gallagher. So this is our review of our October financial reports. First, the general fund ended October with a deficit due to the delay in the second installment of the 2021 property taxes. We've been following this, as you all know. The notices did finally go out. They posted just November 17th, and those will be due on December 30th. So this just creates a bit of a timing issue for us. And of course, we continue to keep an eye on our cash and our expenses. Sales and local use taxes, those continue to be very strong. The collections of the LGDF as of October 31st are more than 32% higher than the same period last year. And at the end of October, the village has received more than 117% of the budgeted amount. Sales taxes also exceed projections, with year-to-date an increase more than 19% compared to the same period last year, and overall expenditures are on target for the month. Next, in the water and sewer funds, the consumption billed in October was about 17% higher than the same period last year, and as of the end of October, the year-to-date consumption billed is about 3.5% higher than the same period last year. And then finally, the police pension fund, the state reports are unavailable, but we do know that in September, our portion of the combined fund, and the acronym IPO-EIF, our portion decreased by 6.65%. The market value of our assets is now $13.7 million, with trailing 12-month return of, unfortunately, negative 27.39%. First part was good, last part not so good. If none, then I would make a motion to accept the October 2022 financial reports as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, may we have the roll call vote, please, Clerk Timick?
Yes, President Gallagher. Trustee Chen is absent. Trustee Fink.
Aye.
John.
Aye.
Trustee Carroll.
Aye.
Trustee Lewis.
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Under my report, I'd like to report on the election results from the November 8th election. The Western Springs sales tax referendum question failed by a relatively slim margin. There were a total of 5,394 votes that were cast, and of that, 2,983 voted yes, and 3,411 voted no to the increase in a 1% sales tax. That's a difference of just 428 votes. So I'd like to thank all of the residents who thoughtfully studied the question, and no matter what your vote was, that you went to the ballot and voted. We really appreciate it. And then on behalf of the board, I'd also like to publicly congratulate our representatives who won at the ballot box this November. We have our very own state rep, Jim Durkin, and our state senator, Susie Glowiak Hilton, both of whom are residents of Western Springs. Also, who came out on top at the ballot were House Speaker Chris Welch, Representative LaShawn Ford, and newly elected Senate Minority Leader John Kern, as well as State Senator Kimberly Lightford. Our federal representatives are Congressman Sean Casten and Senator Tammy Duckworth. So congratulations to all of them, and the board looks forward to working with them in the future. So during this week of Thanksgiving, I'd like to take a moment to express appreciation for my fellow board members, as well as our clerk. I spent a lot of time writing something to let you know how much I do appreciate your thoughtful contributions to the board and to the myriad issues that we're facing. But the more I wrote, I mean, we'd be here for another hour. And so I really want to let you know, though, that you each bring such a unique perspective to our issues, and yet look at everything through the same lens, which is what is best for the village. So truly appreciate all of your efforts and your hard work. And, you know, this is a volunteer job, and you all have busy lives, so thank you very much. Clerk Timick, also like to thank you for your dedication to public service. After serving 8 years as trustee, you're back as our clerk, and so appreciated. Thank you. And of course, want to thank our excellent staff. I always say and continue to say that we have the best staff of any village, any municipality, not only in the country but in the world. Yeah, I truly do believe that. And especially want to thank Manager Bear, because she leads by example, and it's her example that really flows through the high ethos and dedication to the job that each of our staff members show, all the way from our senior directors, to our supervisors and everyone who's employed in the village. We as a board are continually impressed by the dedication to doing what's right by our residents and business community. So thank you very much. And then I'd also like to thank the people behind the scenes, the residents who volunteer their time on commissions and boards to advise the board on difficult issues. There's way too many to name, but their guidance is very much appreciated. And finally here, I want to thank literally my right-hand man. Attorney Jerusik leads our legal team, and we are so confident in his advice. It's really nice to know that you always have our back, and even though sometimes, I push back at a little bit of, but you keep us out of the courtroom, so that's a good thing. So thank you very much. And so I hope the board and our staff and our entire community have a very happy Thanksgiving. And with that, I'll turn it over to Village Manager Barry.
Thank you. That would have been a lovely way to end. I hate to do this, but I do have a couple of items. First, I wanted to let you all know that I recently received word that the Village of Western Springs 2020 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report qualified for the GFOA, the Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. So I wanted to congratulate not only Director John Mastandona, but retired Director Grace Turry and all of their staff for the work they did over the past year to put together that wonderful comprehensive annual financial report. It takes a lot of work and effort, and doing this to the highest standard is so important. So thank you to John and to Grace and to those who are involved.
Yes, thank you. We get this award every year for how many years now? But
many.
That doesn't diminish. How many?
Very many. What is it? 27, 28, maybe?
The 27.
Yeah, which is remarkable. And so, it's expected, but it's also very much appreciated when it does come. So thank you very much, and to your entire department, John. Appreciate it.
There's a nice medallion that was sent to us that'll be added to the plaque that they have in their office. So
nice.
I wanted to mention that the recreation brochure went live today online. Resident registration will begin December 2nd, and non-residents can begin registering December 9th for the next sessions in the recreation brochure. Also, because of the Thanksgiving holiday, our Thursday and Friday garbage collections will be delayed by 1 day. That information is on our website if anyone needs that. The administrative offices will be closed Thursday and Friday. Just wanted to make sure people were aware of that. If they have anything, we do have a drop box that can be, items can be left there, and that will be checked first thing Monday morning. We are still collecting holiday lights. I've been seeing a lot of holiday lights popping up around town. So if you are putting up holiday lights, if any of our residents are putting up holiday lights and they find some that aren't working, they can recycle them either at Village Hall in the box in our lobby or at the Thomas Ford Library that also has a collection box. So please do that now, all the way through after the holidays. Those boxes will be available, and the green team will be collecting those and helping to recycle them. Small Business Saturday is this weekend. WISBA has a really nice piece on their website at westernspringsbusiness.com talking about all the things that our local businesses are doing this Saturday. So I would just encourage everyone to consider shopping local on Saturday and visiting some of the shops. There's quite a lot going on this weekend. And then also from WISBA, the Winter Wonderland event is coming up. So Saturday, December 3rd, from 12 to 5 on the Tower Green, there will be Santa and our Western Springs fire truck and a lot of other fun things. So this is our last meeting before both of those events, and I wanted to make sure that I mentioned them. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, your mentioning of the holiday lights reminds me that I've been meaning to mention how nice the fall decorations around town look this year. So hats off to Public Works and staff for all of I think it's really built out more this year.
It is. The Public Works Department really worked hard to do a lot of that themselves this year. And they did it whenever they could find time. And they don't have a large staff, but they really put extra effort into that. And then our village landscaper came through with some extra things this year as well. So we were really pleased with that. Thanks. I'll pass that along.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your report. Any report, Attorney Drusik?
Just a quick follow-up to your comments, Village President. I am thankful and appreciative of the opportunity to serve as village attorney. Just let everybody know that. And I wish everybody a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Okay, there being no other business before the board this evening, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I would make that motion to adjourn tonight's regular meeting.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ladies and gentlemen, we stand adjourned. Good evening. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. I'm sorry I'm not having people over. It's such a short, I really. Right, I know. It's just such a busy. I mean, you should see my kitchen. It's a mess.